Most parents remember a time when school was about their children learning the basics of reading, writing, and arithmetic. The long-standing debate about how to best educate today's generations of students led the state of Washington to adopt a unified set of academic standards across its 295 districts and more than 2,000 schools. It's called the Common Core, and in the 3 years since its implementation, questions about just what it is and how it helps kids learn still linger. The Common Core is a set of academic learning goals for all students ranging from kindergarten to high school in math and English language arts. The core was formally adopted by the state superintendent of public education in July 2011 to replace the previous guidelines. Common Core is designed around 4 key concepts. While the core uses standardized tests to rate how students are meeting those goals, there is no singular lesson plan and teachers are free to teach students in their own style. The Common Core is also an evolving system with new exams for math and English language being implemented this year to better measure student knowledge and establish a baseline for the future. Moses Lake School District Executive Director of Teaching and Learning Linda McKay says while the name may have changed, the aim of the system remains the same.
The goal of Common Core is to get kids college and career ready for not just going to college, but those pieces of trade school and those items. That's the focus of the standard. So they started, instead of starting at kindergarten and working up, they said, what is a kid leaving high school to be college and career and workforce ready? What do they need to know? And then they built the standards backwards. Since 1996 and 97, and prior, actually 1993, I believe, is when the ELRs were put into place, we have had standards, and those standards have evolved. Our math standards alone in about the last 10 years have changed 3 times. So we have continued to evolve in education, saying, okay, what is it that kids need to know? How is our state economy as well as our nation and our global, whether it's economy, education, world, what are those things and how do our standards maybe need to change to reflect that? Technology. If we'd never written technology standards, where would we be at today given the technological world that we live in?
Midway Elementary teacher Kristen Frederick sees how the collaborative aspect of Common Core is helping her students work towards the common goal of learning.
For the new math standards, I see them being more rigorous and more pertinent to real-life situations that students will get into in their lives and need mathematical skills to solve. And so it's a lot of performance tasks, which means they take a real-life scenario and they have to use their math skills that they know and apply it to solve a real-world type of problem. And the kids lots of times get to work in collaborative groups for that, which brings in the speaking and listening standards that are new for the reading Common Core. And so all the standards really lend themselves well to high student engagement and then being able to conquer more challenging problems. They're learning more of what they need and they're learning why they're doing what they're doing.
Despite its evolution, critics of the Common Core say it relies too much on standardized testing and doesn't focus on creative arts. McKay said those subjects are still taught but are also incorporated into different avenues of learning.
Some misinterpretation might be that the linking the testing to the Common Core standards, whereas the Common Core, those are the standards for which our kids need to know and be able to do by specific grade levels. So I think that's sometimes a little bit of that misconception. One is that it's linked to this testing. It's not. The testing is something we've always had, whether it's WASL or MSP, but providing those stair steps.
In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.